What's up, guys? It's been a while since we've done a city update video, and we're excited to show you what we've been working on. Truthfully, we've been traveling and kind of enjoying the summer, so we haven't been doing a lot in the city, but there are some updates we want to share with you today. But before we do, we did want to mention that if you haven't seen it on Instagram already, we partnered with Micro Builds to launch all new, brand new micro scale builds of things such as this ambulance, for example. You can take it down to micro scale, which is a lot of fun, and it's a great way to build to save money, to save space, and it just kind of uses less bricks and parts. So if you've never done it, definitely check it out. We actually have a bunch of old micro builds on our channel, but what's cool about these guys is they're taking builds that we've already done, like our Southwest airplane, and they're basically turning it into new builds, like this new version of John Wayne Airport, as well as other really cool builds, and also redoing some of our old builds, like the BMW dealership, for example, and coming out with new modern version using kind of newer parts and pieces that the older versions don't use. And so what's great is they're going to be handling all of our micro builds going forward so that we can focus on minifig scale and our minifig city. And this is just going to be a great partnership. They are a great team, and truthfully, we've really enjoyed the partnership so far. So be sure to check out their website if you haven't already. They've got a lot of great stuff already on there with some of our builds, some of their builds, and they have more coming out soon. But anyway, back to the city update video, which is probably what you guys came here for anyway. So as I mentioned, not a ton has happened down in the downtown core area. I'm going to touch briefly on this in a moment. But there is one change down this way, which you guys may have seen on Instagram, and I'm going to point it out right now if you don't follow us on Instagram, but you probably should. But anyway, we ended up swapping one of the buildings down here, and if you haven't noticed yet, it's this one right in the middle. We swapped it for the police station. Again, this probably isn't the final resting place, but for now, we kind of like how it looks down here. This, again, will lead into the beach area and kind of the beach town in the future, and there's some updates to the airport down here, which I'll show you as well. But anyway, what I was going to touch on is down towards the north end. As you guys know, we have been working on this pier area for a while now, and there really hasn't been much progress. Truthfully, it's been really frustrating to build this thing, and it just isn't quite coming together how we wanted it. Originally, it was going to anchor kind of the north end of the beach, and it's going to be an amusement area with cool rides and whatnot. But after kind of laying everything out and just seeing how it goes together, on top of the pier, it's not coming out how we wanted it. And if you look in the back here, we still have a huge open gap where we need to fill in the wall. And we're kind of thinking about just trashing the whole thing, honestly. And if we do, the goal is to put shops kind of in the back area, make the pier out front with kind of like a marina and boating area out front as well. So something we're playing along with. Again, it's just, I don't know. We don't know what we're going to do down here totally yet. And the problem with the roller coaster is it's just too close to the hotel. As you see, there's just not a lot of spacing, and we can't seem to make it work with the track pieces that Lego came out with, because there just isn't a lot you can do with it. And again, there's still that gap in the back that we got to fill in. So there's just a lot of work to do down here, and truthfully, it's just been kind of set aside for now until we come up with a better plan. The other problem with down here is now there's a lot of mess because of taking the pier apart and putting it back together and kind of shuffling things around. So we basically have to clean this whole area of the city up, and it's just been kind of left for now until we figure it out. So that's down there. Let's move on to the rest of the city. As you can see, the downtown core is still looking really good. And we've been working on some new skyscraper designs that we might incorporate in the future. We'll see. But then down this way is obviously still a mess. We have been clearing this off a little bit. It may not look like it, but we have been working on a really fun project down here, and that is the new airport expansion. And so what this is it's a new terminal drop-off area for arrivals and departures. Basically, arrivals would be on top with departures down below, and there's a ramp to get to it. As you can see, it's still a work in progress, but we wanted to show you guys kind of what we've been putting together so far, and we really like how it's coming out. We also added a control tower. This is what was used on our previous airport, and it's just kind of a placeholder for now. We plan to update that in the future, along with finishing the rest of the terminal. As you can see, the little guys are building it down at the end. But this area of the airport is coming out great, and it's been kind of what we've been working on for the last 2 weeks. Essentially, the road will eventually connect and take you up and under, or we might have it connect on the backside to the rest of the city. Well, it will connect on both sides, but we're not sure which way the traffic's going to go yet. We got to kind of figure that out. It could come from this way as it's facing now, or it could go the opposite way. Still something that we're still trying to figure out. But anyway, we did have a comment on Instagram when we showed this that the lower part was too low. And in fact, it's actually more than 6 studs tall. It's almost 7 studs. It just looks this way on film and on camera for some reason, like it's compressed, but it actually has pretty good spacing down below. So the next part of this is going to be figuring out the roads and making sure that those all work and then connecting them to the main road infrastructure. The ramps actually came out better than we anticipated, and up top we're going to put some planters and whatnot. Also, these pine trees that you see, we did do a free tutorial on our channel, so if you haven't seen that yet, I'll link it up above if you want to build these yourself. But essentially, we're trying to make this look like a true airport on both sides rather than just having the gate side completed. So in the future, it's going to be integrated into the city on both sides and have a fully connected both drop-off and arrival area, and then also the flight departure area. But I must say, I love how big the airport's getting and how just awesome it is in person. I wish you guys could see it because truthfully, the camera just doesn't do it justice. It's a little cluttered right now because this is also just where we're kind of storing stuff while we tear up other parts of the city and rebuild it. So apologies for the mess. This will all be, cleaned up and put back in the future. There's kind of sorting trays and other parts. But anyway, it's really just kind of a staging area for the moment. Soon to hopefully be clean. But anyway, as we shift back towards this side, the next few weeks are going to be building this out and getting it connected to the rest of the city and the town. So that's kind of the main focus outside of figuring out what to do with the pier. But as you see, it'll connect to the rest of the city, and it should be a really cool, cohesive city once it's all said and done. Well, guys, that's it for today's update video. Make sure you follow us on all the socials so you can stay up to date with what we're doing. Again, we have some travel coming up, so there aren't going to be a ton of updates, but we'll try and update you when we can. Thanks again for watching, and we'll be sure to see you next video.